were to treat their goods as you do with my own.
I even polished it for you.
Yes, it shows.
Well, is there any way I can get that deposit back, or will you be wanting to keep it?
I thought you said the deposit was going towards your new suit of leather.
It is.
Are you saying you no longer want the new leather?
Correct.
Well, in that case, I could give you back 20 gold. As I said, the bird has already taken flight.
I understand your inconvenience, but 55 gold pieces for one dove travel seems quite a steep price to me.
He says, aye, it does as well to me, but I'm not the one choosing to forfeit the offer.
Very well. Let's continue the order. I don't see this. I don't have a sense in wasting gold like that. I will provide it to one of my colleagues who uses leather armor more efficiently than I can, apparently. I'll give you your studded leather back, in good faith, I suppose, for future endeavors.
Says, very well, very well. Where are you staying? I'll send word once I've heard back from my sources.
I'll tell him where I'm staying. I can't remember what it is. The place.
Mother Yolanta's?
That one.
All right.
And send it care of Gladius Vindicta, in case one of my colleagues has to pick it up instead of I.
Gladius Vindicta. Oh, very well.
Yes. Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, and I'm gonna go on my merry way.
Very well, very well. I got plenty of work to do here. I'll see you in the future then, friend.
Indeed, friend. And I'll walk away. I'm gonna head towards the smithy.
All right. Which one?
There's two smithies in town?
You guys walked by Ironhead Arms, but you didn't go in. And I believe Grabender bought new armor at number 9, the Tantor Smithy.
Yes, I'm gonna head to number 9. And
All
I
right.
move twice as fast since I'm urchin.
All right.
For the sake of travel time. And I'm gonna walk in and
As you come inside, the blazing heat greets you as you step into the door, and you can see this older gentleman, very burly for his age, hammering away at a hot iron piece with a large hammer on an anvil.
My good sir, Tantor.
And he kind of stops what he's doing, and he looks up and he says, do I know you?
No. But you know my associate, Blue Dragonborn, about this tall?
Yes, I made a fine suit of armor for him. I believe I finished it yesterday. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you had any shields in stock.
Of course. Any particular fashion or type?
Oh, let's go with your standard kite shield.
Oh, very well. And he kind of points up to a wall of one of his smithy. You can see various shields of kind of different sizes, bucklers, kite shields, the full-blown like Roman all-out large shield.
Yeah, no tower shield for me.
Tower shield.
Yeah. No,
absolutely, Ross. How about one of these?
That looks fantastic.
He says, all right, how about a quick 10 gold and I can get back to work?
Perfect. I have very much work to get to myself.
Busy days, busy days.
Indeed. I'll pay him 10 gold and just take my shield and walk.
Great doing business with you, friend.
Indeed. I will, I'll make sure to refer to you whenever I need armor.
That you will. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and he makes his way back out. And is there anything else anybody else wanted to do here in Red Larch?
Nope, I'm good.
I hope I have something to eat before we have some quest.
So you went to the bakery, but I don't think you bought anything.
No, I didn't.
She bought 3 days with rations.
That was Mushi and Illyria.
Well, yeah, but she was checking for silver. I assumed it was to buy the same thing. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, I didn't. And fortunately, Cassie didn't know she got it or not. And then she's thinking about going back to the bakery, get some bids if she can afford.
All right, there's a little chime as she enters the bakery once again. He says, you were just in here. What did you lot forget?
Well, I know there's so many choices, even though I did not get, what good stuff do you have, sir?
Oh, it's all good, I assure you. But, here in Red Larch is probably the only place in the world you'll find our famous crumble cake.
Okay, how much of the crumble cake?
Oh, how much do you need?
Well,
I believe your friends bought 3 days worth. Does that sound good to you?
oh, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, terrific. So, same bargain as I gave them, 15 silver, all 3.
Okay.
Very well. Excellent. And he pulls up the 3 kind of tightly balled crumble cakes, and he plants them on the counter, and he says, here you go, miss.
Thank you so much, sir. And then I carry the crumble cakes and head back to the group.
All right.
My nose won't stop running.
So, Lucas, are you working on rotting your face?
What?
Oh, you were like face down. It looked like you were like messing with your face. I was like,
Oh no, I'm trying to.
Why won't you rot?
No,
if I rub enough, it looks like it's rotting.
No, I'm trying to see like how many of my spells are going to be affected if I use a shield. And whether or not I can get away with it right now or not, but I don't think I can. Like over half my spells have somatic. Somatic. Thank you. I don't know where the hell it was going. Over half my spells have somatic components, so.
Yeah, that's only an issue if you're like right up in somebody's face, though, right?
Correct.
That's where most of your spells are, aren't they?
Yes. So.
He just got the shield as a fancy looking prop.
Well,
For
I
his
got
next
it.
great
I
disguise.
got it, so I can use it when I hit level 6, which is going to be in forever.
It's not forever. It's the
Hey, now.
next level, man.
We're halfway
Yeah,
there.
no, we're halfway
remember?
there, and we haven't killed anything.
Well, I'm
We
trying to
might
fix that.
We're all like going through withdrawals.
We spent like 3 weeks shopping. Let's go do something.
Yes.
We have to kill something.
All right. So the sun's high in the sky as you guys set off towards the northeast of Red Larch, following this Red Larch path in the direction of the Scarlet Moon Hall that numerous individuals in town pointed you towards. And kind of off in the distance, peeking up over some of the hills, you can see that Feathergale spire that the old shepherd pointed you to, where the individuals on the large vultures flew towards. Sun high overhead as you make your way out of Red Larch, and the grassy fields kind of start turning into larger and larger hills as you're traveling.
The ox is contentedly grazing. Oh, wait.
No, he is staying at the stables.
Only the high quality ox hit stables.
Mm.
Well, he's staying wherever he's staying, but I paid for him to be staying there.
It's like a doggy hotel, but for oxen. All right.
So I'm totally walking.
I'll be
Sorry.
right behind Render.
We need
Alright.
Govender's march.
190.
That just makes us game. I love it.
I'm trying to find the official ruling. Oh god.
Where's the music that normally goes with that?
I'm not positive. I might have deleted the traveling playlist.
Oh no!
I
You
know.
always had music when you would go.
It's not
See,
my
you don't-
fault.
You don't do it with a vigor. You're like
I'm-
I'm moseying. I'm not really walking. I'm just.
I'm marching. Oh goodness.
This music's way too happy for that. But you guys make your way along this roadway.
This chair's so squeaky. I'm gonna get WD-40 for tomorrow and spray it.
Illyria's cursing the daylight outside. And you guys...
Which is why I'm in front. She's just kind of like in the middle, going. "Rrrr."
Okay.
I'm actually gonna wield my shield.
All right.
And I am walking not right next to a Gravender, but slowly up front. I'm not normally in the front.
I might have
that's
found
the
it.
point of it.
Wait, but well, hold on. No, I do not
that
get a bonus 3 to my AC for wearing a shield. Although that would be great.
+2.
I know I replaced my studded leather slot with the shield.
I think it was
So
a
was it
different
shield,
march,
light
wasn't
armor?
it?
Yeah, shield light armor is like, ooh, I've got 22 AC. Wait, that's not right. That's better. No, there's I'm checking out the rulings of what you can do with a weapon during your turn. So as long as I move on my turn, I can draw a sheath a weapon during my movement. So if I move, I can sheath my weapon, cast a spell.
All right.
So
So as you guys are continuing along this road, kind of more or less chatting to each other about various whatevers, you can see cresting the distant hill are several armored individuals.
Where?
Right there.
oh, it's
Ah.
Doc.
They crest the hill and they're continuing heading down this pathway in the same direction as you guys are headed. Like, they're heading this way, you guys are heading that way.
Am I missing something? Oh, hello.
Okay, so we're actually approaching each other then.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Do they appear to be wearing the same kind of armor as Lothar?
They do not. It appears that they're wearing some kind of like plate mail,
Ooh.
Okay.
breastplate.
Then I'm not going to get too concerned about the armor attacking us.
Do they have red weapons?
They do not.
Okay.
From what we can tell,
As
they're wearing masks.
Oh, they're wearing masks?
From this, they don't appear to be wearing masks, but from this distance, they look like to be wearing some kind of like goggles or something over their eyes, like the medieval equivalent of sunglasses, if you will.
We just
Strips of cloth.
we just
And
stepped
more
into-
individuals continue to crest the hill behind them. They seem to be walking kind of distanced from each other. While you guys are kind of grouped up talking to each other, they seem to be less chit-chatty.
Your sister's distracting us.
I'm sorry. That was like the perfect thing. They're like, oh look.
Oh, you have no idea how many times I did squirrel after all that movie.
This chair.
Oh my god, you guys totally made me kill my train of thought here. Like everything just went wrong.
That's exactly what's supposed to happen.
That was the plan all along.
What the
He had
hell
guys
are they
no
doing?
idea.
So they seem to be like in a kind of a group, sort of escorting someone, sort of.
There,
So
while the individuals around ringing the outside are all wearing this heavier-looking plate mail, there's an individual in the middle with heavier kind of robes.
I'm going to kind of go to the edge of the road and try to make room for them to pass, and just
All right.
kind of, warily watch.
And I will stand here at the ready. Ready for
Mhm.
what? I don't know, but I'm ready.
Okay. So they continue marching forward.
We continue moving forward as well. Just, near the edge of the road.
And Illyria jumps into a bush.
As the two parties kind of start getting closer and closer to each other, the individual in the very front stops, and you can hear the robed individual shout out, "Who goes there?"
We are a party of adventurers, traveling to Red Fox Inn place thing.
We'll go with it.
Red Fox.
Insert actual name of place.
No,
Oh,
don't insert actual name. We don't want them to know where we're going. This is secret.
Okay. I can't say I've ever heard of Red Fox Place. But I suppose I wish you the best of travels. I haven't seen too many adventurers in these hills.
We just arrived from the east a few days ago.
Is that so?
Excuse me, the west. The west a few days ago.
Ah. What parts from the west?
The Sword Coast.
I've got family in Neverwinter.
I have not actually made it to Neverwinter, at least only briefly. We met and have been helping out a small town called Fandalen. You've probably never heard of it.
And Dalen, I can't say that I have, sorry.
And you, where are you off to?
We're now leaving the Scarlet Moon Hall. It would seem their ritual is taking significantly longer than they made it appear.
Ritual?
Yes. They claim many things, but among them they believe themselves this to be some sort of new druidic circle. And they believe this ritual of the Wicker Giant will set right all of the elemental mishaps of this region. The unseasonably cool summer, the hot winters, the poor crops, and the like. They believe themselves to have the answer to all these problems.
It would seem that you do not believe them.
Oh, but I've had plenty of faith in them a month or so ago, but it seems that the longer they took to perform this rite of theirs, the more my own faith drifted from them.
Well, it certainly sounds of interest. I've had a friend who was a druid. I'm sure he would have found it most fascinating.
Mayhaps, but I'm afraid I grow weary of these unkept promises of theirs. We're making our way south now, to where I cannot say for sure, but I'm certain that we are quite done with their facade, if you will. We'll spend no more time amongst them.
You say they are still at this hole. What's the name of it? Moonlit Hall?
The Scarlet Moon Hall, yes, just further down this road. You'll want to turn to the west, to the east, in, I suppose, roughly 15 miles or so.
Well, perhaps we will stop by there.
And I come up to Grimender and told him that Grimender, speaking of druid, I may be a sorcerer, but I'm definitely and also a druid too because I have a multi-class.
Would you be interested in seeing this ritual?
Oh, what ritual?
The one that our friend here was just describing. Apparently a group of druids is trying to set right the elemental troubles in the land.
I can try, but even though I don't have any beast shapes yet.
He says, he kind of overhears and he says, "Nay, this isn't one of the pair of druid circles that you would typically hear about, the sun or the moon. This appears to be a third circle entirely, the druid order of, what did they call themselves? The circle of the Scarlet Moon. Neither beast shapers nor the other kind. Now, you'll have to excuse me. Is that a tiefling among you?"
Indeed it is.
If you
Our
wouldn't,
most faithful companion.
if you wouldn't mind, I have never seen a tiefling in my lifetime, and I'm rather fascinated by them, if you will. If you wouldn't mind terribly, would you mind if I step closer?
And Miyushi steps forward in between Cassie and Grimender, closer to this cloaked individual. She says, "I have no problem with you, as long as you have no problem with me."
Very well. And he kind of puts a hand up, and all the armored individuals stop. And he continues towards Mushi. He says, "Tell me, what brings you to these hills?"
We are merely a group of travelers.
Yes, this is what your friend was saying, but you should know better than others that your kind aren't quite favored around much of anywhere, if you'll excuse my saying. Being the rumored spawn of demons in human flesh.
I will never be welcomed anywhere, but that will not stop me from traveling the world.
Ah, Remarkable attitude you have. Remarkable. Do you have
And you
any-
were
Go ahead.
you were at the I can never remember Scarlet Moon Hall.
Says yes.
How long ago did they start these rituals of theirs?
I know not when they started, but we were there roughly a month ago. We arrived there a month ago, and they've been conjuring ever since. Now, as you'll have observed, the hills seem no much clearer, despite their efforts. Tell me,
They've been conjuring for months. What have they been conjuring?
they've been attempting to perform this rite of the Wicker Giant to restore nature's balance in this region. Druids from all over approaching to see this mysterious third circle of druids. Tell me, is this the largest your horns will grow? Do you have any idea?
And she explained she is only. How old is she?
Oh,
She's
who,
16
me?
and a half.
Are you talking to
She
me?
is, however, old.
No, she's trying to remember how old she is.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. She's only 22. However, they could grow larger in time. Every tiefling is different with how large their horns grow.
And you've had them since birth.
Why, of course, I was born this way.
And have you a tail or wings or scales? Your
And she
eyes
kind of
appear to be normal.
She looks at her tail like, yes, I have a tail.
He kind of steps around you to see the tail for himself. Says, fascinating.
Once again, she says, I was born this way. It is nothing new to me.
Most remarkable. And you say you're headed towards the Red Fox Inn. Where is this? Perhaps we could escort you.
No need to escort. I have plenty of escorts of my own. We are looking just for the next.
Oh my god. Kind of awkward. Really awkward.
He says, indeed, you have.
Oh Lord. We're good, thank you. I'll just keep it at that.
Well, then, at the very least, let me give you this warning that to be careful out here in these hills. There are all sorts and types, beasts, monsters, aberrations, and the like. But among them are bandits, and there's rumors of cultists about.
Cultists, you say? That's funny. We come from a town who has been rumored to have the same.
Is that so? What town is this?
Red Larch.
Finally.
We recently left there, and there's been several cultists about.
Oh, well
That
then,
makes sense.
I believe we will be avoiding this town. Can you stop biting me?
It might be best that way. It seems to be a friendly town, however, there are many secrets there.
And I came, ask him, excuse me, sir, I don't want to be rude or anything, you see, I'm really a sorcerer, but I'm definitely a multi-class of druid as well. And I have a dream. There is a woman who looks like me and appear to be a druid, and I'm not sure if she's a relative of my father, Nicholas Lockhart. Have you ever met him?
I'm
this
afraid
lady?
not. Who's a Nicholas Lockhart?
That would be my father.
Has he been to the Deseret Valley before? Is he one of these druids of the Scarlet Moon?
Not him, but a woman.
This woman's one of the druids?
Yes.
Well then, you'll probably find her at the Scarlet Moon Hall then.
I suppose.
Unless they have other circles elsewhere. As far as I know, this is the only location of the Scarlet Moon Druids.
Okay. And can I go ahead to the, I guess, history check?
What are you trying to do a history check on?
Want to know if her father or any of her relatives that she or her past is fondly memorized because of her dreams, and she's got to know if her father ever done anything of a Scarlet Moon Druids before.
So it would seem that Cassie's not sure, and apparently it seems like he didn't tell you if she doesn't know. So I would say there's no way of you knowing for sure
Oh
what
darn.
your father did. Or didn't.
Or is there anything, I guess...
You can roll me
any-
an Arcana check to see if you know anything
Sure.
about these Scarlet Moon Druids.
Okay, awesome.
All right,
Close.
so despite everything you've ever read in your books about druids, and even with your own kind of magical tendencies kind of shifting in that direction, you are not familiar with
Oh,
the
darn.
Scarlet Moon Druids, the Circle of the Scarlet Moon.
Mm.
I mean, you've heard of the other two circles. They're significantly more commonly known, but the Scarlet Moon Druids remain a mystery to you.
Probably.
And Miyoshi puts her hand out, her left hand, and she says, "It was a pleasure to meet you.
Most-
However, we must be on our way."
And he reaches his own hand out and kind of grasps your fingers and pulls you in for a kiss. And he says, "Most fascinating meeting you, my lady."
And she nods her head and she continues walking.
Very well. Safe travels. And he snaps his fingers, and each of the guards continue their march.
And as she's walking away, she says, "Safe travels to you as well."
May continue. Why are you going up there? They
I
continue
want to go
along
off
the
the
roadway.
beaten path.
And presumably Lothar follows his party. And the party continues to make their way along these somber hills.
I don't know what just happened to my screen, but everything went. Oh, there we go. I just had like this
Yeah.
huge Lothar symbol.
Mine too.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you did it, but you like focusing on Lothar and then it disappeared.
I hit something with my pinky. Oh.
Now I'm at like the map again, so I don't know. But I was like, "Hello, Lothar," and he's not even here. Damn it,
I
Lothar!
don't know. But you guys continue along the roadway as the sun begins to drift lower and lower into the sky. And you make it to what looks to be a somewhat frequented turnoff with a signpost that reads Scarlet Moon Hall and a kind of crudely drawn arrow pointing off the path to the right, following this kind of crude trail.
And I
It
say,
doesn't say Red Fox Inn. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't even know how to do that. Oh Lord! I thought Lothar was the liar, Gravender.
I just couldn't remember the name.
All right, so I'm assuming you guys are turning.
Yes,
Okay.
we're following the path. How late in the day is it getting?
Sun's starting to set in the sky.
Okay,
It's starting to get late.
not even dark yet. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, we will keep going.
All right.
I'm determined we're gonna make it there.
And you guys continue through these hills as the sun sets over the hills in the distance, and over the ridge. As the sun sets, you can see as if the sunlight continues to burn in the distance, creating a large flame in the distance, just
That's
almost
a lot of distances.
seemingly just over the crest of the next hill, if you will. And
Wait, is the village burning or?
a brightly burning sun, or a brightly burning light, just over the crest of the next hill.
Okay.
And what you guys see, as you guys crest another hill, you can see up top, boom, a large tower stands before you, with several tents and ruined walls around the outskirts of it. And in front of what looks to be an entryway through the ruined walls, it stands a large structure of a burning wicker man. And it burns very brightly over this area. And let me find the flavor text for you. And there's a bit of a haze coming with all of the smoke coming off of the numerous fires you can now see over the hills, over this hill. And this fiery giant stands almost at the crest of this hill in front of this large tower. And scattered on the slope before the tower are 7 bonfires with tents clustered around them, with humanoid figures huddling near them, with a trail leading up the hillside towards the tower up top. The closest bonfire to you looks to have 4 robed humans, 2 male, 1 female, and what looks to be an elderly gentleman amongst them, standing, chanting around the bonfire. And at the periphery of the firelight are what look like 2 massive elk placidly chewing on some of the grass. And they are marked with what look to be tattoos and various markings in their fur.
Oh.
While the bonfire to the right looks to have 2 human men in robes standing before a bonfire, and on the other side from them, leashed to a peg in the ground, is a large brown bear.
Hmm. And I'm curious, the deer, I know it's not an ordinary deer. I mean, it reminds me from Princess Mononoke from Hayao Miyazaki film.
This deer is massive in comparison to other deer. It's it's almost 4 times your size.
It's a big elk.
It's huge. As the
And
party begins to surround this bonfire, the chanting stops, and the older gentleman, without even looking up, says, "Greetings, friends. Won't you join us at our fire? I'm sure you've traveled quite a ways to be here, to witness the rite of the wicked giant yourselves."
and I bowed to him. It's really nice to meet you, sir.
And
Yeah,
Miyoshi steps forward closer to this older gentleman, and she asks him, "This wicker giant, you say, who? We have traveled quite a ways to witness this. Who is this wicker giant you speak of?"
He kind of lets a little chuckle out. The 3 other individuals near the bonfire point up the hill towards the large burning wicker man in front of the tower. And they replied, "Why, the flaming wicker giant is the large fire that may have attracted you to this hill. Many have come from far and wide to see this ritual for themselves, to see if this 3rd druidic circle has any standing of their own."
What is this wicker giant trying to call forward?
They're not trying to call anything forward, but merely to bring a bit of a peace to the nature of the region. A balance for the terrible weather, horrible crops, monstrous creatures, and the like. They believe that through this rite, if properly prepared, it could set everything right once again.
You say properly prepared. We
Indeed.
passed a man on the road who said that that the circle had been at this for weeks now.
Months.
What does it take to properly prepare?
I am afraid I cannot speak for that myself, as I am not a member of the Scarlet Moon Circle. Very few appear to be, but as you know, with all magics, discovering a new arcane source to tap into requires time as well as patience, especially if they hope to acquire something so remarkable.
You say you are not with the I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering this name.
Circle of the Scarlet Moon? No. Much like yourselves, we are travelers, drawn by the very idea that such a 3rd circle could go without being known for so long. We come faithful and hopeful that this new circle of magics could bring wondrous things to all of Faerun.
Do you know where the leaders are of the Scarlet Moon Hall?
I believe the leaders would be within the tower preparing the rite. But you'll find if you make your way up the hillside, they do not wish to be interrupted.
Do they ever come out and speak to those who have gathered?
I'm afraid I haven't seen them come out, aside from a lone individual who will occasionally make his way to the top of the tower. If you'll see there, and he kind of points up the tower, and you can see kind of off on the left side what looks to be kind of scaffolding up at the very rooftop, and kind of roofing supplies as if they were kind of reworking the roof. You can see a small hole near the scaffolding. He says, occasionally an individual will step out onto the walkway up there to gaze about, continue chanting, connect with the sun, the moon even. I know not what he does, but occasionally you'll see an individual up there. I presume he's the one in charge of this circle of the Scarlet Moon Druids. There's a great burden placed upon him through nature, if he indeed hopes to be the one to set it all right.
That truly is a great task.
Which is why so many have traveled so far to see this through.
We, as we traveled, have heard disturbing rumors about what is going on in this valley. I have even heard that there is a prophecy that speaks of these times. Have you heard of this?
I'm afraid I cannot speak towards any prophecy of such. But even being in these hills only a short while, talking to the trees here, we have discovered that it has been quite an unseasonably warm and stormy spring for the area, with flooding, windstorms, firestorms, and tremors all about. And it would appear with each one of these natural disasters, more and more beasts and sinister strangers would appear to crawl out from the shadows. Which is why it is so important that this individual that you may see up on the rooftop gets everything right. As I said, a great burden is being placed upon his shoulders with this proclamation that he would be able to pierce through to the nature itself to set everything as it should be.
Well, I guess we can all pray that he is successful. But in the meantime, with so many gathered here who seem knowledgeable in the ways of nature and the elements, is anyone attempting to help the people of the valley?
Says you, what sort of magic user are you? Have you any inclination as to the way magics work?
I do not claim much knowledge of how magic works. I simply serve Bahamut and do his will.
And he kind of lights up at this. He says, the Platinum Dragon. So, much to the way that you chose to dedicate yourself to this Platinum Dragon, the numerous druids have chosen to dedicate themselves to one of the two known circles. And almost as if for you a new deity of a completely new dragon were to pop up, very similar to this fashion in saying that a third druidic circle has appeared, as these Scarlet Moon Druids appear to proclaim an entirely new school. And so much like us, for yourself, despite all of your studyings of the Platinum Dragon, they may not be useful to this particular arcane knowledge of this undiscovered god. Much like to us, our magics of our own druidic circles may be of no use or value to this Scarlet Moon Circle. Now, we are here to support, if only for the end goal. Numerous people have come and gone as their hope and the like have faded and grown. It brightens my heart to see more individuals drawn towards this. This music is not very soothing.
Yeah, I kept expecting the guy to start throwing lightning bolts at us or something.
And can I I don't know, like either the nature check or animal handling check.
What would you like to? What's your end goal for either one of those?
Well, for animal handling, I really want to see the that elk. Because I'm very curious. I've never seen this animal like that before. And I asked the elder if I could pet one of your animals.
So if you're just going to ask to pet the animal, you wouldn't have to make a nature check for that. You would just have to ask him.
Yeah. Does animal handling count?
So just to pet it, if you're saying you want to ask him if you can pet the elk.
Yes.
So to do that, all you would have to do is ask him to pet the elk.
Oh, okay. Excuse me, sir. I never seen this remarkable creatures before. If you wouldn't mind, I could pet them.
Ah, a curious one. I sense a bit of the druidic nature about you. You're certainly allowed to, my dear. Help yourself. As these creatures are quite mysterious to those who have not themselves ventured into the deepest of woods.
And I bowed to him. And thank you, sir.
Indeed.
And I think I come over here and pet either one or two of the elks.
All right. And as you do so, they kind of lean into your hand, like leaning into the petting.
And I smiled and
Look, the guy we've
before
been talking
that,
to.
I was talking to them and I'm sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, before I began to smile, and I was
So Illyria is making her way up the hill, and she can see more of these bonfires about. To the one kind of further up the pathway and to the left, she can see two kind of somewhat rugged-looking humans sitting near another large bonfire. And the one to the right is the fire itself is surrounded by three people that appear to be dozing by the bonfire, as the fourth leans on a staff and looks to be bored out of his mind.
Yeah, she walked far enough up the path, kind of get out of everyone's sight and get into the little shadows a little bit, and then look off to the side, try to get a feel for what this place is.
All right, and she's kind of making her way around. This one up to the northwest of her looks to be a half-elf woman here, dressed in robes, with three companions, a human woman and two human men, dressed in rugged clothing and breastplates, and the three in armor cook food on kebabs at the bonfire.
oh, sorry, I have to refresh it. So I guess we're just walking around.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
So that's a woman.
Okay. Well, even though I had to refresh because I lost some parts and I hope I didn't miss anything. What am I doing?
You're still petting the elk.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, so Illyria's going to keep trying to be sneaky and make her way up to the up towards the big structure at the top.
All right. And Mushi's walking almost straight for the doorway. And she can see kind of out front. What is that? Beyond the ruins of these walls, ringing the keep's central tower, is a courtyard cluttered with some more tents, and a humanoid-shaped wicker giant, roughly 2 stories tall, continues to burn brightly here. She can see 2 figures in robes standing near the giant, as their heads lowered in what seem to be some sort of prayers as their chanting continues. The tower looks to be under repair with wooden scaffolding roughly 30 feet up, stretching 30 feet up the walls on either side, and lanterns hung from struts and poles attached to the woodworks. There look to be 2 guards with crossbows watching the courtyard from the scaffolding up above, and rubble chokes this wide doorway, likely once a main entryway on the tower's southernmost side.
So, you're saying there's a couple of sentries up? Is the
There
2
are
right
a
there?
couple. Yeah.
So it's those 2 are the sentries?
So those 2 are the ones with their heads kind of bowed in prayer,
Oh,
and
okay.
up above on the scaffolding look to be kind of 2 sentries.
So from where Illyria is, would you want to be able to see her?
Cannot see anyone. The wall is kind of blocking her view.
Right. But does anyone... She's not seeing anyone that might see where she is or what she's doing.
She sees another campsite to her left.
Mm-hmm.
At that
She has
campsite...
such a massive dark vision, I can't tell what firelight ends.
So this campsite looks to be a little smaller than the other ones, and an elven woman in robes plays a fiddle as 2 sprites dance around the smoke above the fire. So it's possible that with dark vision, anyone could see her, or from any one of these 3 campsites, and possibly these 2 as well. Because the area is fairly brightly lit with all these fires.
But she's being super sneaky.
Right, but it's also kind of like an open hill with not a whole lot of cover. So she can be quiet, but there's not really a whole lot of places to hide, so to speak.
Okay. Well, then she's just going to keep... She's not like going to be super obvious about like trying to sneak or anything, but she's going to be quiet and try to make her way just around the structure.
And this
Alright.
is the tower right here?
Yes, it is. And Mushi, as you try to make your way past these 2 individuals, they immediately stop chanting and kind of just cross their staves in front of you, blocking the entryway. And they say, "I'm sorry, miss, but the rite is not to be disturbed."
The... who?
The rite of the wicked giant. And they go with kind of just gesture towards the large burning giant to their side.
I understand who the Wicker Giant is, but who is under control of this fire?
Why, the elements themselves are under control of this fire. Perhaps we do not understand your question.
You said
Who's
the
in
rite is not to
charge?
be disturbed.
Yes, the ritual.
I have no intentions of disrupting this ritual. I only seek to proceed forward.
Well, then, if you have no intentions of disturbing it, you'll excuse us of keeping you at bay. You're welcome to wait with the others further down the hill. And as Illyria's kind of making her way around the backside, she can see another armored individual over here and kind of a very rubbled back wall.
But she's in the middle of the M. He can't see her.
Right, but that's what she sees.
Okay, fair enough. She's totally in shadow. That's like dark, deep shadow right there.
Oh man, I wish I could, have any communications of any animals.
Miyushi's going to ask these two individuals who are they trying to call exactly?
We're not trying to call anyone, but to calm nature itself. In case you haven't noticed, the elements in this area are particularly disturbed, and we're seeking to set that right once again.
I believe I may have an understanding of this elemental disruption. Is there any way that you may speak with your advisor and have him speak with me?
I'm sorry, miss, but as we said, he's not to be disturbed. He gave very specific orders that should he wish to speak to us, he will come out and speak to us.
How long do these rituals last?
I believe he's been in there for nearly 2 months now.
And you have been here for the same amount of time?
And they kind of gesture towards the various tents about them. They say, yes, we believe in this cause. Is there not such a thing that you yourself would be so devoted to that you wouldn't mind waiting, if only a few days?
There may have been at one time. And she nods and walks away from them.
And as Illyria is kind of slowly sauntering around the tower, she's going to keep an eye out for that platform that the guy was talking about and see how easy it might be to climb to.
All right, so from the looks of it, the platform was kind of more or less on the other side of the tower, but the scaffolding made its way kind of about halfway up the a third of the way up the tower, but there were like doors on the sides by the scaffolding.
So then, for someone with a spider climb necklace,
sentries were
no problem whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Now she continues to make her way around the outskirts. She can see the firelight of another campfire, kind of a little on the fringe of the others, as 3 bulky figures stand near the edge of the fire with robes roughly pulled up, but she can clearly make out bugbears, and as well as poorly hiding in the brush over here, 2 of their large wargs, like oversized, very monstrous-looking wolves, seem to be kind of just resting there.
Okay. Would she have any reason to think that bugbears and wargs might try to help with this? I mean, they're basically monsters, right?
She could ask.
Ask them or ask you?
Ask them.
Nah, she's not gonna do that. She's going to make her way a little closer to the tower and kind of head back over this way.
All right.
And eventually get back to the road and just come on back down to where everybody else was.
All right.
Totally passing Mushi, who just stopped in the middle of the road for some reason. You say over here is a chained bear?
Yes. It's kind of like pegged into the, like it's attached to kind of a rope collar, and that collar is kind of pegged into the ground.
Okay, so not like bear baiting chained, more like
Right.
horse tied up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Lear's going to kind of motion at Gerbender. Pull him aside. Say, why don't you ask the fellow you were talking to earlier, who else has gathered? Just get him talking, see what he says. Okay. And Gerbender goes back to the fire. And Deliri kind of drops back in earshot, but not like right in front of everything.
All right.
And Gerbender basically says, "So, who all is here? There seem to be several camps."
Says, as I said, people have traveled far and wide. Those who believe in the possibility that this may entail. Should such a rite be capable of setting nature back to balance, this would be huge and could be used all over the world.
But have you met any of them? Are there any interesting folks? People with stories or adventures that we might hear?
Oh, everyone has their own story to tell, if you will. There are always interesting individuals to be found. Oh, what intrigues you, I suppose, would depend on what you find interesting. Is there something other than the ritual you came here to find? Perhaps companionship?
No, I have many good companions. I do not lack for companionship. I simply am interested in, well, there are many campfires. Why have people chosen to be so spread out?
Well, I suppose it's also as a means of protection. Should monsters or beasts come down on the area, they would hit the outskirts before reaching the inner walls. And we're here also to defend the ritual, I suppose. To help those inside to complete the ritual.
Would monsters dare come so close to so many large fires?
Monsters are of a mind of their own. Monsters come in all sizes and shapes, with impositions of varying sorts. And with such a powerful ritual as this, that could alter the very existence of nature, who's to say what may happen should it be disturbed?
I suppose at this point it's getting fairly dark.
Yeah, the sun is set, and it's nothing but the firelight lighting these areas.
Well, perhaps it is time for us to find a spot to make our own camp. We appreciate you sharing your fire with us.
As I said, you're more than welcome to join us.
Oh, we thank you. Perhaps we shall set up our tents here nearby. Okay, time out.
Yeah.
Stepping out of character for a second. We came out here because we thought this gathering of druids might have information about the cultists, or did we come out here for some other reason?
We came out here because when I went to buy my ox, they happened to notice the symbol that was on my hand,
Right.
which was a fire. And so
So
I'm curious.
Are you going to ask around, or should one of us try to take the lead?
I tried to go to the tower, but I wasn't able to go to the tower. So I guess I'm gonna have to try and ask around. But I had to step away for a minute. So now I'm here.
Did you get wine when you stepped away? Because wine will help.
This is all I have left.
Such a shame.
I've had more than enough, though, I can guarantee it. Damn it, you and your little blonde man.
Oh, it's the
Yes.
Fallout
He's
character.
going to stand back here and hump the wine. All that wine that he has. It's like almost as tall as he is.
Oh, it's the Fallout main character, the logo.
Yep. It's the Pit Boy. Or Vault Boy, I guess.
Cool.
Give me
I was-
1 second. I'll be right back.
And I
I'm
was
sorry.
watching,
I've been taking too many breaks.
Orion's Twitch. He was playing Fallout, and I recognized that little character.
Why don't we just take like a 5-minute break?
All right, yeah. So we're gonna take our break later.
Late break.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's. I know it's already 8:16.
Right.
Are we doing the overtime?
No, not yet.
Oh no, because I might need to get some rest soon. Well, I mean, I'm not sure what time I'll be going work out with my sister tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I think basically we come back and make Mushi do her investigation and try to find out stuff and then call it a night. Because as
Okay.
tempted as I am to go over there and go beat up on the bugbears, that seems like maybe not a great idea.
Be right back.
Okay.
Hey, oh.
Then you're one of those silly people that tells time wrong.
But I'm also one of the silly people that's not in a blizzard right now.
Oh, not in a blizzard. I just have, 8 inches of snow in my backyard. And just in case you ever consider doing this, it's a mistake to try to walk in snow while wearing flip-flops.
You say that, but I've done it.
I just
negative.
not a great idea, but
No.
So Amanda, does staring at it make more of it appear?
Maybe. It's quite possible.
So, then you're currently in Chicago and you don't have snow.
Right. It snowed last night, but it got warm enough today that it was gone before I melted.
And
Or
Amanda, you're in Texas.
And we have rain.
You have rain.
But I'll be in Chicago in May. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I'm very excited. It's been what, like a year since I've seen you?
Y'all didn't get together for Christmas?
No. I'm not allowed. My job doesn't allow me to have time off after October and before March.
No, she just hates her
And-
family.
Time area. I'm not allowed to have time off.
What sort of job do you work that, that 6
I work-
months is the busy period?
I work at a bank. Is it March? I don't think it's March. I think it's like January, February. Yeah, I think it's about March 1st is the first day we're allowed to have off. But I was able to wheedle my boss into giving me the very first week of October off. Because she loves me. But I'll be going to Arizona for that week to see my mom. So Ryan, if you're off for October,
October sounds like school.
Well, I'll be done
You'll
with
be done
school
with
in May.
school.
Oh.
That's why we're going to Chicago in May to celebrate him graduating.
It's just I might be a little employed
You can
legally in October.
That's okay, because you can still go to May for a week. Or Arizona for a week.
That could be difficult.
Possibly.
New associates or young lawyers aren't notorious for their time off. They're
I
more,
understand.
more notorious for the amount they drink and the number of hours they have to stay in the office.
Well, I'm excited about October because this will literally be the first time in 4 years I've had a vacation with my boyfriend. Like,
Wow.
I'm excited. We'll be going to Arizona to see my mom, but it'll be a vacation.
I'm sure he's super excited about that too.
He loves my mom, whether he says so or not. No, I'm just joking. He loves my mom. You'll have to meet our mom to understand. She's probably the best mom in the world.
I can't wait to meet your mom.
I know. Everyone loves my mom. I've had too much wine, guys.
How you had too much wine? You only just got it.
I know. I only had one bottle, and it was like 14%. So I'm a little.
They sell wine that's 14% alcohol?
Oh my gosh! What wine have you been drinking?
I'm pretty sure most of mine are like 6%.
No, most of mine are like 14%. It's pretty bad. I'll have a really dry mouth tomorrow and maybe a slight headache, but I'll get through it. I have to open tomorrow. I need to set my alarm.
Oh, okay. It says on average the ABV for beer is, or the alcohol by volume for beer is about 4.5%. For wine, it's 11.6%.
This one was 13.9, so I'm gonna round up and say it was 14.
Okay.
And it was also one I got from one of our customers at work, but no one at my job drinks wine, so I literally brought home like 6 bottles of wine over the last few months. Since December. So over the last 2 months, I've brought home like 6 bottles of wine for free.
Like, I have no idea what the alcoholic content of this bottle of wine is. It doesn't say anywhere that I can tell.
Really?
It's
You
probably
have
like
to-
100%.
You said that's Behringer, right? And White Zinfandel?
Sutter Home.
Cedar.
But yes, it is a white Zinfandel. I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
can't-
the 10% or something.
I can't drink White Zinfandel anymore. It's just too sweet for me.
So you know you're an alcoholic. I mean, a lot of wine.
No, but seriously, it's like pretty bad. I had beer for the first time in like 8 months, and it was not very good at all. Let's see. But this one I recently got. I wish I would have read the bottle. It was actually really good. I didn't think it would be that good, but we got it from a really nice customer of ours who has a whole bunch of money, and they know their wines because
Those are the best kind of customers, especially for a bank.
I know. It's like people like around the holidays, they drop off so much stuff. Like we always have food to eat. We always have drinks. It's like, woo! Because I went from being a server to working at a bank. So it's like this huge difference. But I was the only one to bring home most of the wine. And I appreciate wine. And I think there's still a second bottle of this one, and I think I might bring it home too. There's like a 95% chance I'm gonna bring home the second bottle of this one I just drank.
I think you need to do that.
Bank and you're stealing wine.
You need to do that woo thing again.
Woo!
It sounds just like you've been drinking when you do that.
It would be completely accurate if that's the case. My wine bringer was gonna bring me beer, but I explained to him that I had a whole extra bottle sitting in my wine fridge. So he brought me wine.
I like that you have a wine fridge.
I do. He bought it for me at the flea market for like $20. And it works perfectly.
It's
Best
like a fridge
investment ever.
for Ryan.
It really is though. It's perfect. The first
Oh,
like
Finally, I
6
found
months
it.
I had it completely full, and now it's like I'm lucky if I have a bottle in it, but I keep it on just in case.
Yeah, so your bottle of wine has like 5% more alcohol than mine does.
And it's empty, and yours is still half full.
Well, if I could send it to you, I would.
I can't drink White Zinfandel. It's just... I
Even
can't
more
do
reason
it.
to send it to you.
I'll just sit there and stare at it for you.
Remember, he's got an entire box full of it.
Actually, most of the box is gone. I mean, I think that legitimately, I think it's the last of the box.
What?
Okay.
What happens next? Do you pick like a new flavor? Or are you grounded from wine?
I'm probably grounded from wine for at least the next month or two.
Oh, man. Grubender's going to be a lot more angry in the coming months. Short
It
tempered.
kills me. It very kills me.
face!
Don't you listen to me!
Shut up, your man!
What did you just say? I will kill you. No. That's
So-
fine.
Now that we're all back,
Except for
Appreciate
Lothar, but he wasn't here for most of the part.
I think we decided that basically, from here until the end of the session, you have to investigate your mark.
Okay, I can do that. So this one to the... I don't know what side of the computer screen it is to you, but to me, it's on the right. These three, you said they're sleeping? And these two humanoid people...
The two are sleeping, and the one in the middle looks kind of just annoyed and is leaning against the staff.
I'm going to go to the annoyed being.
Oh, he does look annoyed.
Well, I'm going to come to the outskirts, not really like come up to him, but I'm going to be at like the outskirts of his area and kind of like wave. Like, hello. I am here.
Says, yes, you are.
And so is this the one in the middle?
The one in the middle is the one in the middle.
Okay. That's
It's not
the
a
one.
it's not a person talking in their sleep, if that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah, the other two were sleeping. That's what I was asking. The one in the middle was awake still.
Three
Okay.
sleeping. But yes. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so she is going to go up to this one and ask him, how long have you no, okay. She's going to ask, are you here? I assume you're here for the ritual, yes?
Says, yes, we are.
And you've been
Are
here
you not?
for... I have only recently arrived.
Yes, your face does not look familiar to me.
I attempted to get closer to the tower, however, they blocked me from getting any closer. I'm
How
joking.
unfortunate. Though I can't say I'm surprised.
They
I
said that
don't
they must
believe they've let
allow...
anyone closer.
How long have they been kept up in that tower?
At least since we arrived several weeks ago.
And she nods and she asks, you're here to make sure that the nature calms itself, correct?
This is what they proclaim it will do. Why? What has drawn you to this tower?
And she shakes her head and she says, nothing really. I was just curious about this gathering. I saw the fire, the large wicker man burning, and we came closer, me and my fellow travelers, to investigate this instance. And I was just looking for further information as to what was going on around here.
Is that so? Well, and he kind of slams his staff into the guy who's sleeping next to him. And he kind of wakes up with a start, curses him, something in Elvish. And he says, Saruki, tell her your theory about this whole situation. And he kind of looks to see Mushi standing there, looks back, very visibly upset at the manner he was woken up, at the elven individual and slowly kind of wakes himself up, stands up, says, "Well, I was telling Murkath not too long ago that I believe this whole third circle thing to be absolute nonsense, and that they are merely using it as a ruse to recruit druids to their cause."
And why do you say that?
Well, we've been here for weeks, and we've seen no results of this ritual. Excuse me. We've seen no results. I cannot use that voice. We've seen no results of this ritual that they keep talking about. And you said yourself they wouldn't allow you into the tower. Oh, they wouldn't let her up either, then? No. So tell me, what do they have to hide? If this ritual is really as marvelous as they proclaim it to be, what's the use of hiding the manner in which it's cast?
And she nods, trying to take in everything they're saying, more so than agreeing to what they're saying. And she says, "I appreciate everything. If you don't mind, I would like to go around and see what everyone else is here
I
to
don't
say."
believe I caught your name.
And she says, "I am here with the..." Of course, now I forget it. Gladius Vindicta. We are a group of travelers here looking to make peace within the land.
Well, that's magnificent, but I believe I asked your name.
And she nods and she says, "My name is Miyushi." Not giving her last name.
And my nose won't stop running. It's cold.
Well, Miss Mushi, it was a privilege meeting you, and I thank you for this bit of an intriguing conversation, if you will. It's out of the ordinary that I seem to have grown used to waiting here for this ritual to be completed.
I'm sure your beliefs will be ever fulfilled. As long as you believe.
Certainly hope so. Especially after all this time we've waited.
And she nods her head as she's walking away. She says, "I wish you the best."
And he bows.
And she begins... Are these bugbears? I don't really want to walk to the bugbears.
They are robed humanoid figures. Like, the hoods are up, but you can clearly see their bugbear mugs with all the hair kind of poking out of their robes.
Okay, well, she's going to walk up to this camp then.
All right.
And she's going to kind of wave and be like, "Hello, how are you?"
Oh, well, we are doing very druid-like, thanks. And you can see the closest one is kind of like pulling his hood up, not looking at you, looking towards the fire, trying to like hide his face. And yourself, you should probably sleep. It's getting late.
Out of character, I don't see a pathway beyond this camp, do I?
No, it kind of branched off from the main path.
Okay. Okay, and she says, "Yes, I do believe it is getting very late. I am a new traveler here, and I was just curious as to your part in this ritual."
We are here for the ritual. What are you here for?
I am here as well for the ritual. However, I have only just arrived, and I was curious as to what the previous days have led up to.
No, lots of previous days leading up to all sorts. You know, all sorts in the previous days. So how about yourself? Well, your fire's probably getting cold. You should go back to it.
My fire is very well attended to. I would like to accompany you a little further, if you wouldn't mind.
Are you sure about that? We haven't got any more food for you. You could check with one of the other camps.
And she just continues. I've heard that they are trying to cleanse the lands around here. I was not aware that bugbears were fond of well-being.
And upon using the B word, 2 bolts go flying over the campfire towards Mushi from the 2 individuals on the other side. And
Am I going to fight people?
what is your AC?
Oh dear. 17.
All right. So the first bolt goes flying by as the second slams right into your chest for 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh, this is not going to be good for these
Are you?
bugbears.
You're stabbing yourself?
I am not stabbing myself.
Oh, stand by.
Why didn't that take? I had -8.
So you take the 8 points of piercing damage and an additional 6 points of piercing damage.
What? Why
As you
did that?
are surprised by this bolt sticking out of your chest. And with that, I think we're going to end the session there.
What?
Okay.
I'm getting into this now.
Mushi is getting into this now.
Oh no.
I want to kill something, and these bugbears seem to be the perfect object.
Well,
That's
certainly
not
hard to argue with that logic.
They can't just shoot me and we end the whole day. That's-
Just
call them
think,
the-
when we come back next week, the first thing we're going to do is fight something.
I'm gonna find something. I don't know where everyone else is.
You called him the B word.
Beings.
Nope.
What did I call them?
Butt heads,
How do you call them, buttheads?
bitches,
Think. What are they?
Bugbears?
bugbears.
B word.
I called them bugbears,
Yes, you did.
so they shot me.
That seemed to set him off.
Oh.
I will kill them all.
It's the start of her master plan.
This is where it begins.
All I have to do is take like 2 steps back and I will kill them all. Ugh, and you're gonna cut me off right now.
Yup.
It's not even. Can we like start having like 2 sessions a week?
Until I
Is
get
that
into a
okay?
different class at school, I can't afford the time.
I know.
That's not even fair. I have to wait a whole 7 days.
Oh.
Well, this is what happens when you use the B word on people.
I don't remember using the B word. I meant to
Call
go
them
back and
bugbears.
watch the session. I hope Lucas is still recording this. Even though he disappeared 50 minutes ago.
This is why Lucas isn't running Illyria.
Ah, I'm so mad right now.
Well, guys, as this session draws to a close, can I ask for everyone's character's highlight for this session, as well as what you hope to accomplish next session? So, Mushi, we're going to start with you, going left to right.
My highlight is getting to this area, which I can never remember the name of. The Scarlet Moon Hall. That is my highlight because I've been planning on getting here. So I'm very excited that we are finally here. And my plan for next session is to see why the people of the same symbol are being drawn here. And so I'm very curious to see what next session has and hold.
All right. And Megan,
Yes.
what is your character? What is Cassie's highlight for this session, and what does she hope to accomplish next session?
Well, I want to accomplish, if I can get to know druids a bit more, because of my memory loss and my dreams of the people I could remember, and I want to succeed. No, if I can succeed very well for knowing about the druids and trying to embrace my memories, especially my dreams, and hopefully I can do something right if I'm still a multi-class of druid while I'm still a sorcerer.
Well, this certainly seems like the place to learn about druids.
Yeah, and I know the biggest goal is if I can find a way to get my memory back, and want to know if I come from and everything, I can get myself back to normal, my memories and everything.
All right.
Mhm.
And Ben, what is Grabender's highlight for this session? And what does he hope to accomplish next session?
I think Grabender's highlight for the session is browbeating the constable into accepting that they're here to help.
That was a beautiful roll.
And then basically what he wants to accomplish for next session is to try to figure out, how, with these 4 evil things going on, and he can't seem to get his hands on any of them. He just wants to find someone he can, bring retribution upon.
I have bugbears over here if you want them.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you call, I can start double moving, and in about 5 turns, I can get there.
5? You're not that far away, are you?
Yeah,
Really?
we're a lot of squares.
He's,
Under
what, like
that.
130 squares away?
So yeah, that's 5 turns.
130,000?
Well, you know
No,
what?
excuse me, 3
I will
turns.
kill them in about
'Cause I can
one
double
turn.
move, so it's 60 feet a turn.
It's okay.
No one shoots at me and lives, okay?
You shouldn't have called him a mean word.
I called them their name. How else am I supposed to know them by? And you said it was more like people trying to cover their faces.
Yep. Doing a
So
They were
poor
they're
job
really
of it.
bugbears.
They were trying to pretend to fit in.
Yeah, they were trying to pretend to fit in, and you called them bugbears, and then
They were like, "Oh shit, it's on."
And now they're gonna die.
The ruse is
They're-
up.
They're stupid. It's all their own fault,
Oh,
I have nothing. If they die, it's not in my hands. They're just gonna die.
That sounds pretty much right. They did this to themselves.
I
Alright.
hope I don't sound very stumbled or anything.
No, so far so good.
Okay.
I don't want to wait in another 7 days. This is gonna be torture.
Well, I mean, you say you wanted to kill something tonight. If you did just want to kill something tonight, you could have started with the butcher and worked your way through the townspeople and then gotten to the armored individuals that you passed on the road. And then just started going campsite to campsite here.
I was hoping
So there
that
were
we would kill the
opportunities.
armored individuals because I could use that armor.
Well, I'm about
have
to kill
cursed
some
armor. How can
wannabe
you-
bugbears, but they're not really bugbears. They're
Well,
just wannabe bugbears
because
who
of-
apparently are very offended by me calling them bugbears, but they're
Well,
gonna die anyways.
Them,
Oh no, they're definitely bugbears.
those
Just
They're gonna die.
pretending to not be bugbears.
late mail.
Damn it, Ben, and your blonde-haired boy.
Hey now.
Ah,
Has he been showing up in your dreams?
no.
Like randomly, back in the background? Like you're out having dinner or something, I'm sitting at the window.
Maybe a pregnant vault boy is what's appearing in Cassie's dreams.
So, just so you know, if I get plate mail, that's 18 plus 3, 21 plus 2. I'd have 23 AC
Yes, sir.
with plate mail. I would take 23 AC over cursed cursed armor anytime.
Which it's not cursed. We've determined it's not cursed.
No,
You
it's
just
not.
need 1,500 gold.
Or kill somebody that's got plate armor.
So it's something that I believe it's in the monster manual. It might be in the DMG. Because I don't think it's in the PHB.
What's that?
It says that basically monsters' equipment, like bad guys' equipment,
Mm-hmm.
isn't in any kind of decent enough shape to be worn by players.
Oh.
Which is why you can't just go around like looting every weapon of every guy you ever fought and make like a huge profit.
Well, I mean, it depends on the appearance of the people, right?
You would think. But apparently it's
Yeah,
basically negligible as soon as they die.
figures.
Rom got off very lucky early on when he was crafting his own leather armor of their armor remains.
Yeah, but it wasn't armor.
He made it into armor.
He did?
Yeah, from the orcs.
Oh, that's right. He had hide armor.
Scrapped the armor from them.
Because when I went
Or-
barbarian, I just threw away all the armor. Because I didn't need it anymore.
Well, I gotta go to that, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Y'all be
Great
good.
Bye,
session, guys.
everybody.
See you
Bye.
next
See
week
you
when we
in
slaughter the
7
camp.
days.
Okay.
Yep, water key.
Just try to survive until then, Mushi. And don't go around throwing the B word at people.
Bugbears.
All right. Bye bye.
Adios.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.